All right, I believe we're live already. I think that is the case, just to be sure. Yeah, we are live. All right then. Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another workshop with the SwiftXR team. We're happy to have you this weekend, and we can't wait to get started. My name's Oluwatosin. I lead community at SwiftXR, and yeah, I would be walking us through uh, using the platform today. And also, while we're looking at that, we would be covering quite a lot on how to maximize product sales using 3D, augmented reality, and virtual reality as well. Right. So, just before we get started, we would take a quick look at what exactly are we going to be using today and what the tool is just all about, and just a quick run through of the entire program we have scheduled for today. So, let us know in the comments as well where you're joining us from. That would be really, really nice. Let's get to know where everyone's joining us from as well. Right, and to start with, let's talk about SwiftXR, which is the platform we're going to be using today. Right, but before then, let's quickly talk about the agenda. So we'll talk about what exactly SwiftXR is, the use cases for SwiftXR, and we'll proceed to a live demo where you and I would both get to create projects that leverage this platform for 3D product showcases, augmented reality, and also virtual reality. Right. So to start with, what exactly is SwiftXR? So SwiftXR is a no-code web platform where you can create 3D AR and VR experiences, basically immersive interactive experiences without having the need to know how to code, right? So you don't have to write a single line of code to use it. And the beautiful thing about SwiftXR is it allows you to create your immersive experiences on the web, which means you are not limited by any um, specific hardware. So far, you have your phone, your mobile device, you can easily access what SwiftXR has to offer, right? And moving on from this, let's quickly just touch a bit on what our focus is at SwiftXR. So we are highly focused on the non-technical users, which means we are trying to lower the barrier to entry for creating immersive experiences, right? And we are also looking at developers who are trying to do a quick prototype, a quick iteration with a 3D model or 3D experience, AR or VR, and they don't want to go through the entire process of having to develop everything from scratch themselves. And also artists, 3D artists that are looking to showcase their works on the web without giving everyone access to the project itself. So, and businesses as well that are looking at boosting client engagement on their website. And I'll be walking us through some of our use cases. And yeah, we'll touch a bit on that. And moving forward, right, let's talk about some ways by which you could get access to SwiftXR and make use of it across the web, right? So we start off with platforms like Bubble, where you can use the SwiftXR plugin there to embed 3D, AR, or VR content on your website built with Bubble. Then we also have the Figma plugin. So with Figma, you can create your 2D designs. But what we do at SwiftXR is we have a plugin that allows you generate 2D images and GIFs of your 3D models and use them within your designs in Figma, which is something we're going to be touching on, but not necessarily with Figma, but with Canva, which is another platform available where you can create designs. And with the SwiftXR Snap plugin, you can generate 2D snapshots of your 3D models and use them within your designs as well. And we also have integrations on platforms like Shopify and Wix that allows you to sell your products and also showcase 3D models of your products. So think of you wanting to buy uh, eyewear, for example. Say you want to get a particular eyewear and you go over to the store, you see the picture, then you see a 3D representation of that eyewear itself, and you can actually try it on before you purchase it. That's what SwiftXR offers, the ability to try on products before you even purchase it. Or think of getting a new furniture for your apartment, right? Instead of you going to the physical store to see what it looks like, you can bring that particular furniture into your room using a 3D model that can be viewed in augmented reality, all done on SwiftXR without writing a single line of code. Right. So same thing with WordPress as well. And in cases where you don't have, say you're working on some products and you don't have access to 3D models, we also have a large library of 3D models courtesy of Sketchfab that allows you to make use of these 3D models on the platform for your own use, right? And there are licenses that are needed for that, but those are always provided with the models themselves. And say you're into NFTs and things like that, you can also showcase your NFTs, the artwork of your NFTs in the real world using augmented reality, which we have an integration for. And if you're looking at animations as well, say for example, on your website, say you have characters of people that you want to get animated, you can do that using our Ready Player Me integration that allows you to animate characters and embed them onto your website. That can be viewed in both augmented reality and virtual reality as well. Right. So moving on from that, we are proud participants of the NVIDIA Inception program as well. And also, last but not the least, we have here is Blender. So if you're a 3D artist, just like I touched on earlier on, and you have a 3D model, right? Say you're working with a client and you want to share them what your 3D render looks like without having to give them the actual 3D model. You can put it up on SwiftXR, share that with them. They can even view it in AR or VR, right? Without you having to give them the actual file. And when all is said and done, you can then share the actual file itself rather than giving them static images of what the render looks like. All right, then. Moving on from this, we also do have some other platform integrations like Ucraft, which is a website builder. Same thing with Forma and Squarespace, where we have plugins. We have ways to embed your 3D content, which can be viewed in AR or VR, onto the platforms. For more information on this, you can check out our YouTube channel, which covers a lot of tutorials on all of these different platforms. Right. So if we just quickly touch on the SwiftXR features, right? Aside from a typical 3D viewer that allows you to view your content, your 3D content, we have augmented reality. And this is spread across multiple features within the SwiftXR platform. This allows you to view your NFTs, view your artworks in augmented reality. You can also view 3D models based on an image trigger, which is also known as image tracking, right? So this you can use as well. And we have so much more. We'll be covering some of these things as we go on today. So stay tuned and be rest assured that we'll get a project done today as well. Right. So let's get into some of the use cases. We've touched on some already, but just a quick rundown of some of the things our clients, our customers use SwiftXR for at the moment. One of them is real estate, right? So think of a particular apartment that needs to be viewed. Say you want to purchase an apartment, but you're living far away from where the apartment is. The 3D render of that apartment could be made available, and all you have to do is get that 3D model onto SwiftXR, and that person on the other side of the world will be able to view and go through that apartment as if they were there, right? That's the power that augmented reality and virtual reality brings to us, right? We also have the artwork showcase. So say you have exhibits of your artworks that you would like to showcase, but you don't have a physical location for that. You can put all your artwork onto SwiftXR and you can share this with people and they can view those artworks in the comfort of their homes. So that's a pretty interesting one as well. And a much more popular one as well is the e-commerce use case where people sell their products using 3D models of what the products look like. So for example, just like I made mention earlier on, you want to have, say, eyewear products, for example, and you show the user what that looks like before they even purchase it so they can try it on. Or say you're selling furniture as well, they can check how it looks like in the apartment before they even purchase it. Right. So we have really, really beautiful examples of this as well. If I can get a website link of one customer that uses SwiftXR for this, and let me see if I can get that up on our screen. Right, so this is a typical example, right? So we have a furniture brand here called Boho, and if you go over to one of the um, products, you can easily customize this model. And if you're on mobile, you would be able to view this on your device, right, in your real world itself. And you can easily customize the product as well. All this is done on SwiftXR, and we will be showing you how to create some of this later on today as well. Sweet. So there goes that. All right, then. Just before we get into the thick of things, let us know in the comments if you have any questions, anything at all. Please do let us know. All right, then. Let's get this party started. So we'll be going into a live demo in a bit, and yep, let's get this started. Just a moment. All right, then we're back. So to get this started, head over to swiftxr.io and let me go back to share my screen here. So head over to swiftxr.io and that's where your journey starts. And let us just drop a link to that in the chat for anyone who needs that. There we go. Sweet. So once you're here, you can just hit get started to sign in, and we can get started on that. Right. So I'll sign in here as well. And let me just get into it. Right. So once you're signed in, the first page you get to see is the SwiftXR Hub. This is the home page where you see the project you're working on, and you can view a little bit of analytics on how your projects are doing, and where they're being viewed from, how many times they've been viewed, and also you can have access to our templates here. More templates are now available on the platform as well. So you can use these templates as a start for your projects rather than having to create things from scratch. So in light of that, we will start off with using a 3D product showcase here template to show you how we can create a quick product showcase. I'm using SwiftXR, and we'll head over to a design tool like Canva to create maybe a flyer for it. So you kind of see how you can create just a simple project for selling a particular product, right? So let's start with the 3D product showcase template here. So let's open that up and let's just call this our workshop product showcase. Right, and let's create our project. And once we're done doing that, by default, you should have a 3D model of a robotic arm in here already. Right, so let's start off from the left bit here. So we kind of go through the platform real quick. On the left side here, you have your components. The components are the different type of objects that you can use within this white space here, which is your canvas, which is kind of like where you get to create all the things that would be published, right? So these are basic components here for alignment and adjustments. And also we have buttons, images, and text for your customization. Then moving on to 3D, we have the 3D viewer. The 3D viewer allows you to view your product in just 3D, while the AR component here allows you to view your product as well in AR, right? And we have the VR component as well. The 3D carousel component allows you to view multiple 3D objects as well. Then we have image tracking, face tracking, and we'll cover some of this. For more information on all the components, head over to our YouTube channel. Once again, you'd get pretty much all the information you need on all the components, right? Then we also have the AI artwork viewer here that you can use to generate AI art if you need that. And we also have the AR artwork viewer for artists who are willing to share their art using augmented reality, right? And then we have the avatar, courtesy of Ready Player Me, that allows you to animate your 3D character within the platform itself. So over in the layers tab here, you have access to all the objects within your canvas here, and the files basically just shows you all the files within your platform, within your project at the moment. And you can also add your own custom files, right? So say you want to make changes to your project itself, the way it looks and how it shows up on the web when you go over to the link. You can change the icon here, and you can also add a description to your project. Fair enough. For more tutorials as well, just go over here and you can view tutorials on your on the different components. So feel free to check that out. Right, so back to our 3D model here. So once I have this selected and I go over to the right hand side, we have the design tab and the properties tab. The design tab basically just shows you how you can make changes to whatever is going on here. For example, you can go over to the background and you can try to change the color of things in here as well. You can try to change the color of things in here depending on what you want. So this is just a normal color view with an alpha and the normal colors that you can have in here, right? So feel free to make do with that, what you will, right? Cool. So with that being said, we can go over to the properties. So over here in the properties is where we have quite a lot of things that we can do. First things first, you can change the custom 3D model that is here. So say, for example, you have a 3D model that you've worked on of a particular object. You can upload it here, or you can use a 3D store, courtesy of Sketchfab, to get a particular 3D model and use that 3D model. So say, for example, we want to create a product showcase for, say, accessories and maybe clothing items, right? We can do that with this. So we'll start with a simple thing, say a cloth, and let's see if we can get a simple dress that we can work with. Let's see. Something like this, and let that just load in. Okay, so let's say this is what you're selling, right? We can have a simple dress like this, and then this can be viewed in AR as well. So think of it, you could have this here, right? And the interesting thing is, say you want to test it out on your body, right? And you have a 3D model like this. If you go over to adjust 3D size and rotation, this button here, this allows you to find a way to work with that 3D model that you have. And let's see how large or how small that 3D model is. For some reason, it might just be that that model is really, really big, but I can't find it right now. Let's see. That is pretty, there we go. Yep, there goes the model. And there goes the model there. It is pretty big. So what we will do is we'll try to fit the model onto the human character here. So that way it can fit onto your character in the real world as well. But when you view in AR, you can also increase and reduce the size of that 3D model. But it's always nice to just get it all set up somewhere here. And I did close that. Sorry about that. So we just have to go over that once again and slowly increase it. Okay, so this is getting close. We might just have to increase that one more. And that looks pretty decent. We just have to reduce the size here. Yep. And that could do it. And I could just move this back a bit. Right. It still looks a bit too big. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely accurate because once you get into the real world as well, you can just adjust the sizes a bit. But this gives you something much more close. Right. So if we save this right now, that is good for us. And next we can then look at customizing this particular model here. So we've been able to add in a 3D model. We've adjusted the size of the 3D model. If we go over to the other properties here, we have the customization options, right? And just before we touch on the customization options, say you have the dimensions for the 3D model you're working on. You can enable dimensions here, and it shows you the height of the model, the width, and the depth as well, right? So it shows you everything. So that way the user knows what exactly or how exactly big or small that model would be, right? And this is useful, especially in things like furniture or things that have to be placed in a particular spot within your environment, right? So this you could use for that. All right, then. But we wouldn't be using that for this particular object. So let's go over to customization options and let's enable that. So let's select yes. And with our customization options here, what SwiftXR does is it gets a list of all the materials, and materials are the different bits that are used to change the appearance of a 3D model, right? It gets all the materials here. And with each of this, you can change the properties on, you can change the color and the texture properties of the materials. And one really slick thing here is, say the 3D artist you worked with did not have a good naming for the materials. One thing you can do is you can always change the labels of the material. So one quick thing we're going to do here is test which is which, right? So for the first one here, we're going to add in a variant to the customization, right? So let's add in a variant here, and we can quickly just check what part of the dress is getting changed here. And let's see. That is not looking. I see. So it's the bottom part that is getting changed, as you can see. Yep, it's the bottom part that is getting changed. So now this is additive on this particular bit here because of the default color, but we know that this is I can delete this variant for now and just rename this as the skirt. And then we can go over to the other one. Let's add in a variant, and obviously this would be the shirt or top, whichever one works. Right, so we know that's the top and this is the skirt. Now we can focus on creating custom patterns or custom colors for it. So we'll start with the top, right? No, let me delete that variant. With this, we could create, say, a red color could work, right? And let's have another variant here, say, blue, and another variant here, say, white, and another variant here, say, my colors can be bad at times, but let's say we have another color here and one last color, something I've not selected. Okay, so we have this different colors. If we go over to our preview project button here and it just hit it, we can easily test out the different colors for the top here, so we can see what these different colors would look like. Sweet. Right, and if we already published our project, we can view this on our mobile devices already. Right, so we can see what it would look like on mobile as well. So there goes the top part. Sweet. And then for the skirt here, we can try something as well. So quickly, I will just get some patterns. I think I do have some patterns for some textures on my end. And let me upload that into Swift. And we can use that as well. Just a moment. I think I should be able to find them. Okay, we're getting close. Getting close. Let me see, just a moment. Let's see. Okay, found one. Awesome. So I would go over to my files here and then just click upload and just look for that particular file and then just bring it in, right? And for that variant, we can add that variant in and then just bring this in. So now we have a different texture for that skirt. And let's see if I can bring in more here as well. So this is very, very useful for fashion-based products, right? And just a moment, everyone. Let's see if we can get the rest in here. Let me just just give me a moment. Stranger things have happened. Okay, and yeah, we should be in the clear now. Okay. All right, then we should be in the clear now. Let me extract this and see what we get. Yep, found another one. So I'm just going to copy that and let's upload that as well. Yep, that's another pattern. So adding another variant here, and all I have to do is drag this in. So now we have two different patterns for the dress. And if we hit preview projects here, we can test out the skirt with the different patterns, right? And we can test out the top as well with the different colors, right? So we can always do that. Sweet. So now that we're able to do that, we can then proceed to publish this project, right? So sorry about that. Maybe I can switch this colors here. Maybe a bit to, I don't know. I think that might be better. Y'all can tell me if that's really bad color choice. But yeah, we can publish this, and feel free to give it a name of your choice here. But I would leave it as default, and I would publish this project. And once I have this project published, I can always share it with you all, and you can test it out on your end as well. That's the beautiful thing about this, right? So we have that published, and if we copy this, we can drop it in the chats for you all, so you can test it out on your end as well. Okay, so now that we have that, if we just go over to website here and just test that, we now have a live link to this that we can test. So you can see the floats, you can see what it looks like, and you can go over to the top here and you can, make different customizations here as well. And once you do that, if I were to click on this, with this QR code, if you scan this on your mobile device right now, you can actually test out this particular dress, right? Which makes it very, very interesting. You can test this out easily. And then next thing we can then do is, okay, now we've created the AR project already that the user can use. So you don't have to just show them a picture of the dress, but they can actually try it on, right? So we can go to a design tool like Canva, for example, right? And on Canva, we can create, say, let's look for a template, right? So we can search for a template on, sorry about that, say fashion sales. Okay, so we can have something like this. That's let's do maybe something like this, so we can customize a template like this. And one interesting thing you can do is with the cloak you're selling, right? We could generate a 3D image for it. So we could take that image out, and we can even maybe take this out because might not be needing that, right? So here, what we're then going to do is go over to apps in SwiftXR, go over to apps, then search for SwiftXR in your Canva apps. So you should see the SwiftXR 3D Snap. What is the SwiftXR 3D Snap? The SwiftXR 3D Snap allows you to generate images and GIFs of your 3D models. Right. So here all you have to do is sign in. And once you're signed in, you should be able to see some generic snaps. These are generic 3D snaps here that you can use within your project. Right? For example, this is a generic 3D snap that you can use within your project, but we're going to be creating our own. So at the moment, there are no snaps found. So to create a snap, you can select create snap here, and that should take you to the SwiftXR platform, right? But we have our project here already, right? So what we need to do is generate a snap of our project. So to do that, we can then just say, go over here and select snap, and then we can generate an image of that and maybe move it towards the back as well, and then maybe generate another snap of that as well. And once that's generated, we can then go over to our project again and then refresh our gallery. And let's refresh that. If it's not showing up, I'm most likely logged into the wrong account here. And let me just click on create snap just to be sure we are logged into the same account. There is a high chance I'm not logged into the same account if we're unable to see this here. Okay, so what we'll do is We'll try to recreate that real quick. So this would be a speed run of what we did previously. So dress, and I believe we use this, just a speed run of all we've done already. So first things first, go over to the customization options and enable that. And what we could just do here is get in, I believe this was the skirt in here. And one thing we can do is, let's quickly do that for the top first. Yep, and let's just generate something simple at first. My color choices are really bad, to be fair. Let me just bring in that model here, and sweet. So now that we have that, maybe I should choose a different color for the top so we can just use that. Ideally, you might want to select something that is pretty similar to what you have in your project already. Give me color ideas. I'm running out of color ideas because, okay, I think this might be a better color, I suggest, I hope. And then we can generate a snap for this. Okay, and then we can take a snap of the back as well, once again. All right, then. So if we head back here now, just refresh our gallery. And I might just have to refresh this once again. And let's quickly just go over to Swift. Interesting. That is pretty strange. It's probably just having multiple. That is pretty strange. Comment. Let me try that again. So we just speed run through this. Okay, and let's try the skirt as well. Okay, let's generate that snap again. If it's been generated, we should see our snapping here. Let me just sign in once again. I'm probably logged into the wrong account. I'm coming. Let me try. I probably just mixed up accounts. Just a moment. That's just a quick hiccup there. And let me just try it here. Just a moment. Luckily for you all, if you're doing this with me, you might not be running into the issue I am running into, which is usually the case. Just a moment. Let me get in here. Okay. So, told you. These are my snaps from my own project. So if I were to then do that, I would just need to log in. But in here, I do have some snaps already generated from my projects that I can use, right? And let me try to log into my Swift account as well. Ta-da. Okay. Just a moment. Might have to do that off screen. It might just be from my end. Let's see. Hmm. Although we do have some sample snaps here, but we do need to get in our own snaps. Let's see. Okay. I hope that's not my. Okay, let me just do this one more trial here, and we should be able to get this up and running. Okay, so if that's not connected, you know what we can definitely just do is head back to our platform here and do one more interesting thing, which is kind of like the manual way. But if that doesn't seem to work, we can do that as well. So when we generate the snap, we would always get the PNG file of that snap, right? So if we head back here, if this doesn't work, it always downloads that PNG for us. And we can always just drag that into our project and then make use of that snap here. That works as well. So we can always just drag that in and make use of that. So I would just take the snap of the other side. I think I took 2 snaps. Yep. And I'm just going to upload that as well. So that's like the other side, right? I believe. And then I can just put this back, send backward. Yep. So we can have something like this, right? So say, for example, you have sales going on. You can have something like this. And then we can head back to our project here. And if we go over to share, you can select the QR code and download the QR code as well. And once you download the QR code, you can then bring it into your project here as well, right? And then you can just say maybe visit our or try on our design here, something like that. And this website link will just be the published link for this project, which you can just copy here and paste in here as well. And I just need to edit that real quick. Right. And then say my fashion store, no name per se, end of season sale. And here I could just have in say select this, this. Uh, Let me just select that once again. And then just maybe a bit here. So we can bring in the QR code somewhere here, maybe. And then when they scan this QR code, right? And when they scan this QR code, it would easily take them to a link to try on that particular dress, right? And you have the customizable options there. You can even be cheeky with this and go back to your project here and maybe try to add more customizations in here, right? Or within this project as well, you could go over to the component here, go over to basic, and say you want to close out the sale immediately. That immediately they try it on. What you could do is you could have a link to the payments page for that item. So say here, um, this could be buy dress now. What am I typing? So buy dress now, right? And I could just make this bold. If we go back to design here, we could select this and maybe change the text type. So we could use something like this, or we could use pop-ins here. Make it bold, increase the font size, and do all sorts, right? We could change maybe this to maybe allow it, call more to the user. I could maybe set the background here for this guy. Maybe make it white, right? And yep, that looks all good to me. And maybe change the color of the text as well, right? So for the color of that text, maybe give it something close to what we have here. My design skills are not the best, but yeah, and we can update our project, and it still uses that same link. We can update that project, and once we do, right, this flyer here can take them. Once you push out a flyer like this, they have a link to view the try for the fashion item. They have a QR code that takes them to the actual project itself, so they don't even have to copy the link. So that QR code takes them there, and they're able to view it. And when they view it, so let's open this link and try it out. When they view it, all you can just do is select buy dress now. And although at the moment this isn't linked to anything, it's just linked to the SwiftXR webpage. If you go back to the project here, you can always select the button itself and change the URL that it links to, right? So once they click on that, it takes them to the payment page, and you're able to buy your dress already. So you don't have to do so much to maximize product sales. If you want something much more advanced, where you need, say, for example, you have a lot of products that you want to sell and you're using a platform like Shopify or Wix, we have the SwiftXR plugin on those platforms as well that allows you to just add a bulk of all your 3D products onto that platform, right? And it follows the same approach as well, right? So we've been able to create a simple flyer here with our 3D products, right? So next thing we can do as well is Say, for example, you have more than one 3D product within your page here, or you have more than one 3D product to sell, right? So what we could do is, instead of using just one 3D model like this, we could create a new project here. Let's quickly create a new project. And let's call this multiple products showcase. So say, for example, you're selling eyewear, you're selling, say you're selling eyewear, you're selling hats as well. It's something you could have in here. But we'll try something out with our AR model here again. So we could have in a product here. Sorry, not this one. If you select the 3D carousel, this allows you to have multiple 3D models, right? Multiple 3D products on one project, right? Ideally, you could have a list of different 3D models within your project as well. But this is a much more sleek approach, I would say, to doing it. So here, if you go over to the properties, you can click on add entry, right? And when you click on add entry here, you can select download from Sketchfab or upload your own custom model. So say here, I could have headphones, right? So I say I select this simple headphone here, right? I could add in another entry and add, say, a mic, right? Let's see, maybe just throw that completely. A microphone. Yeah, something simple yet classy. I don't know. Maybe something like this, right? And then for a third one, say a monitor, right? And let's go with something that is not so heavy, right? Because ideally you don't want your 3D models to be too heavy. So your pages can load faster. So you have a monitor here. Sweet. So now if we just preview this, we have headphones, we have a mic, and we have a monitor. So all in one project. And if you were to publish this, and let's wait for that to go on. We can then just have a link to this that allows you browse through each of these 3D models easily. Sweet. So, and you can embed links like this onto your website as well. So it doesn't stand alone. You can just have it into your website as well. And with that, we've come to the end of today's live demo session. And remember, just a quick recap, to improve product sales, what you can do easily is create your product, create your 3D product, your 3D model of your product rather. Generate snaps of it that can be used in advertisement flyers like this, and then put in the embed link, or not the embed link, the QR code for your try on or for your product onto the flyer, which means the users can directly use the QR code to try out your platform, and just add in a call to action, right? Which would be on the platform, for example, with this product, would be, say, for example, buy dress now, or something else that you want them to do based on what they've tried, right? And that should improve and maximize product sales for you and your business as well. So do let us know if you have any questions at all. If you have any issues, please let us know. And yeah, let's keep in touch. And once again, thank you all so much. If there are any questions, do let us know. So we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. And last but not the least, our Discord is where you can get to meet other creators like yourself, or if you have questions, if you have any concerns, you can also raise tickets or just reach out for support or anything at all. Feel free to share with us on Discord. So you can join our Discord. The link will be dropped in the chats. And let me just drop that for us via our community page here. That is dropped in the chats as well. Feel free to join us there. And also, it's one good thing to note that from time to time, we have a program directed at our creators. So if you're interested in joining our creator program, where you get to experiment with SwiftXR based tools and features, feel free to join. The link as well has been dropped in the comments. Let us know if you have any questions about it at all. We would be happy to help and answer. A quick reminder that a recording of this workshop as well will be available on YouTube for you to go back to and watch again. And with that said and done, thank you all so much for joining us today. And we look forward to having you later on this month as well for another workshop session. Have a lovely weekend and see you all next time. Bye.